Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for August 8th through 14th. This week I read one book, I watched several TV shows, I watched 2 movies, and I listened to 1 book. If you haven't tuned in for a while and have no idea where I am, that's because I am currently on a road trip. I have posted the first video in that travel log series and I will link that down below. Also, if you were with me a couple of years ago, this will look familiar because this is my brother's backyard in New Brunswick. Also, my niece is watching me right now from the window and pretending that I can't see her. The book I read this week is The Hidden Staircase. This is the second in the Nancy Drew mystery series, the original 56. Much like the last book in the series, the title of this one really gives it away, which I hope is something that is not going to continue because it gets kind of annoying when you can already guess one aspect of what the mystery is going to be. However, I did like that this one had 2 separate mysteries. One of them concerned Mr. Drew because he was working on this court case because they were looking for one person who had signed saying that yes, he would sell his property to the incoming railway line, and then he disappeared and basically is holding out for more money. On the other hand, Nancy's friend Helen shows up and says that her great-aunt's house is haunted, and can Nancy figure it out? I'm clearly fascinating because Elspeth is still watching me from the window. Something I liked about this was the damsel in distress type of character was in fact Carson Drew because he gets kidnapped. At no point in either of these 2 books has Nancy been hit on the head yet. I have a feeling that will happen in future books just because that has become something that people think of when they think of Nancy Drew, so I'm going to actually kind of figure out exactly how many times that happens because he is the first one to have that happen to him in the series. On to what I watched this week. Before we got here, I watched a little bit more Food Network. We watched some of Guy's Grocery Games, which I had never seen before, and kind of figured it was like the supermarket show that I used to watch when I was a kid, and I can't really remember that show, so I can neither confirm nor deny. I only kind of figured that in that show you didn't actually have to cook the food you were shopping for, which was a fun element to this. I also really like that apparently his kid also works on the show, which is neat. We also caught some episodes of Buddy vs. Duff, which is fun because I used to watch both of their separate shows, and it's fun to see them together considering they do the same thing, and I like that they did it in a format where they can each still stay at their respective kitchens, and then people from around the country vote on their creations. It's very creative. I also, of course, watched this week's episode of Drag Race All-Stars. I am very excited for this twist to finally be revealed in the next episode. I've been waiting for this for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, and I'm just excited to see how all of that plays out. Once we got here, we also watched a comedy special with my brother and sister-in-law called Jimmy Carr Funny Business, and his comedy's not my favorite. He does have some funny jokes, but there is a lot of punching down and just making fun of minorities, and it's not really for me when that keeps happening, and I spend a lot of time just like holding my breath while watching it because it was making me uncomfortable. It can be funny. I didn't enjoy all this material. As for movies, we just needed something light and fluffy because we were going through a heat wave and nobody was able to really think for the past few days, so the first thing we watched was Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. This is the follow-up to the original Mamma Mia movie. I had never seen this one before. It was a delight. It's not supposed to be anything too stressful or anything like that. Obviously some of the characters are going through things, but I liked seeing the back and forth between Donna when she was young and her daughter now and what was going on and the parallels. That was a lot of fun. Also, the person that played the younger version of Colin Firth did an amazing job. You could tell right off the bat that that was the character he was going to grow into just because he had so many Colin Firth-like mannerisms, and I very much enjoyed it. The other thing we watched was a rewatch of Pitch Perfect because why not? Absolutely, why wouldn't you just rewatch this again if you're just wanting to sit and watch something you know is going to be funny? I'm a sucker for any of these people have talent showing them off type of movies, and that's probably also why I like sports movies even though I don't like sports, to be honest. The book I listened to this week was Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. I went into this one knowing absolutely nothing. I didn't even know Becky Albertalli was coming out with another book until it was basically already out. This book concerns Kate and her best friend Anderson, who always have conjoined crushes. They always have crushes on the same person, and they're always very, very light but intense crushes because they really crush on a person, but they do it from afar, and they have the same crush on the same boy. As the book starts, they're wrapping up a summer production of Little Shop of Horrors, and they both have a crush on the same boy named Matt, and he's cute, and they're probably never going to see him again, but they get a selfie with him, and life just goes on. Then, when they get to the first day of school on Monday morning, they find out that he is actually in their school, and their crush intensifies. Thing is, Kate and Anderson have no idea if either of them have a chance with Matt. They have no idea what his sexuality is, whether or not he would be attracted to either one of them, and they kind of make a truce as to if one of them ends up dating him, the other one will be happy for them. Outside of this are tons of other cool relationship dynamics. They have a squad of friends they hang out with. Kate's got a cool older brother. Her parents are divorced, so she's half the time at mom's house and half the time at dad's house, so that really changes up who her next door neighbor happens to be at the time. And overall, I love this. Of course I was going to love this. It's a theater book, and it's Becky Albertalli. What more could I ask for? That's it for this week. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. If you don't feel like leaving a comment but want to make sure that I know you were here, just leave me an emoji or a smiley face if you happen to be on your keyboard. Some people have asked if there's a way to financially support this channel, so I set up a Ko-fi account, which is a digital tipping service. The link for that is down below, as well as the link to my PayPal and my Amazon wishlist in case you would like to buy me a book. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!